We open the Ultimate Fighter this week with Dana White saying that last week's fight should have gone to a third round. Saunders said he proved that tough guys can wear pink. Faber says it's great to be up 4-3. And Ogle claims that this week's fight will be a good, sexy fight. Kizzy goes to console his friend on the loss in the opponent's locker room. Cruz thinks that Rio will tie things up 4-4. The coach's challenge for this season is sponsored by the United States Marine Corps. It's an obstacle course with 4 shooting stations. You have to climb a 20-foot rope and ring a bell, then run to the first station and hit 5 targets with an M9 pistol. Then they have to flip a huge tractor tire all the way to the second station and use an M4 rifle to hit targets at 50 and 70 yards. Next, they have to carry a training dummy while zigzagging around flags before they get to shoot an automatic rifle at 2 jars at 50 yards. Finally, they get to use a grenade launcher after carrying 2 heavy cases to the shooting range, and the first coach to hit both targets with the grenade launcher wins. Dana pulls a brick of cash out of a green bag and says tap out match the prize for this year's challenge, so the winning coach gets not $10,000 but $20,000 and everybody on the winning team gets $1,500 each. He's wearing a Grand Royal t-shirt, and MCA from the Beastie Boys just passed away today. Rest in peace. Dominic Cruz started out fast in the coach's challenge, but Faber made it up in the end and won a really close battle. On the tail of the tape, both fighters are equally matched, including 8-1 records as a pro. Herb Dean is our ref tonight. Ogle keeps landing left hooks throughout the first round that look nasty, and Faber keeps telling Ogle to come forward and make Rio back up. He wants Ogle to keep the center of the cage. Rio finally stops taking a beating when he gets a takedown at 238, but Ogle gets right back up at 210. He even gets an overhand right with 30 seconds to go. Rio gets another takedown with just a second or 2 left, but he's been losing the whole round. Rio's looking for some ground game in the second round, but Ogle actually turns it to his advantage by managing to transition to the top with about 2 minutes left, and then with about 40 seconds to go, he's flattened him out and pounded on him so hard that he's able to sink in a rear naked choke, and Rio taps out. The official time is 4:19 as Team Faber improves to 5-3. Our quarterfinals next week are James Vick from Team Cruz versus Joe Proctor from Team Faber and Justin Lawrence from Team Cruz against Michael Kizza from Team Faber. Our opening fight at Bellator 67 is Ryan the Real Deal Ford versus Luis Sapo Santos in a welterweight bout. This fight was a tale of 2 completely different rounds. In the first round, it was Santos who had the advantage as he knocked Ford down with a head kick and pounded on him till the end of the round. Ford was just looking to survive. Then in round 2, he made a big comeback by taking the center of the cage and managing to work Santos into the fence, and then once he got him there, he delivered a big jumping right knee that leveled Santos, threw a few more shots on the ground until Yves Levine ran in to stop it. The time was 1:24 of round 2. Our second Bellator 67 fight is a heavyweight tilt between Dave Hakuba and Damian Grabowski. The Polish pitbull Grabowski went for a takedown off the touch of the gloves to start the round, and that was pretty much the story of the first round, was Grabowski getting takedowns and waiting for it to be stood up by Dan Miragliotta. Grabowski was less successful with takedowns in round 2 and even got reversed at one point as he was trying to soften up Hakuba against the fence. And given that Hakuba landed more power shots, I'll give that round to him. He also managed to cut Grabowski open with an elbow. Grabowski was dead on his feet in the third round, but he did get one takedown, and that might just have been enough. Grabowski picks up a 29-28 unanimous decision. In the third Bellator 67 fight, Ben Killaby Saunders takes on Brian Beast Baker. At one point in the first round, Saunders had a sweet triangle and armbar at the same time, but couldn't get either one, and Baker did more damage from the top overall, so I give the round to Baker. Saunders kept working the submission game throughout round 2, but it wasn't nearly as successful as the first round, although he did land some really excellent knees to Baker's chin. It wasn't enough though. Baker got a takedown late in the round and was doing a lot of damage on top as the round ended, so he probably gets the second round as well. Baker has the most dominant round in the third that he's had the whole fight, and he even gets a pro wrestling style slam on Saunders. It looks like he's cruising to a decision. Baker wins 30-27 times 2 and 29-28 for the unanimous decision. Our main event of Bellator 67 is lightweight champion Michael Chandler versus Akihiro the Magic Man Gono in a non-title fight. And this one definitely did not go the distance. Chandler finished Gono with strikes in under a minute. The official time was 56 seconds of round 1.